Welcome to Dreamworld Observatory. Welcome to Backyard Astronomy. Tonight we got a real treat going for us. We're going to go out and we're going to capture Jupiter. Stay tuned. This might be fun. Well, we've got the roof open. We're waiting for the telescope to cool down. You know, we're going to be using the SCT tonight, and it's takes about an hour for it to really cool down good, being that both ends are closed. It should be ready in just a few minutes, and I'll go ahead and do the initial alignment, and we'll get started. Okay, we got the scope all set up now. It's tracking Jupiter. Had some problem with the telescope getting it lined up there for a while. So now we're way over into the west, but we're still tracking, so we won't be able to do it long because the seeing will start getting bad. So we're going to step over here to the computer and just go ahead and let it capture some. Okay, I know you can't really see it, but up there in the corner, I have Jupiter, and I'm trying to do a fine focus on it. And so far, that's about the best I'm going to be able to get it. I have messed with it. That number you just saw, the 11601, that was the highest it's hit yet, and it's kind of turbulent. Can't really keep it steady. So we're going to go ahead and let it rip on this. So I'm going to stop it here, and we'll abort this process here. Okay, what we done was we went ahead and we captured Jupiter. I did 2 runs. One a little bit more sharper focus than the other. There's a lot of turbulence out there. You know, for the last month, we've had major fires here, so we haven't even had a sky because we've had nothing but clouds and nothing but smoke. Only this weekend, where the last 2 or 3 days, has it actually cleared up where you can actually see the night sky, wafflecraft, even shoot anything. That's why I'm out here now. I wanted to get Jupiter. I think we got some good ones, but I will probably process them. I will process them a little later, and then I'll put them all in here where you can actually see them. Like I said before, now I'm not going to go through everything about how to actually process them. I want you to see a little bit of this, and I'll probably try to show some of it. But later on, we'll actually go into the programs to actually process planets. And only after we get into deep sky, because when I get in deep sky, I won't be comparing the two, because we'll be doing different things. Because I won't be using registats on deep sky. I'll be using something else. That's going to do it for right now. I'm going to get ready and close up shop here. I got to go. The telescope is still running. I could spend the rest of the night out there, but I'm not going to do it. Start to fall out there a little bit, so I'm going to call it. But see, you know, I've got my, don't forget now, when you go out at night, you need to have that head on. If you'll notice, when you go up and try to focus that telescope, the rim is going to bop you everything around. So what you'll want to do, if you'll notice, whenever you see me in the observatory and I'm at the telescope, I've got it turned around. Okay, we're going to call that a night for tonight, and then tomorrow morning I'll process these a little bit, and when I have a look, see what we got, and I'll attach them to this where you can actually see them. Okay, what we have is, right now I'm going to show you, this morning now, so we're going to look at what we got last night. Okay, let's look at what we collected last night. We shot 2 sections of, or 2 captures of 200 frames each of Jupiter. Not all of those work. I'm going to save Jupiter. I called it Jupiter 2. We'll save it for later. I'm probably going to run a how-to on how to use these 2 programs with those for planetary capture and for processing. Well, we're going to use Jupiter 1. Here's what we caught with Jupiter 1. Now, I've already
what I've done is I've already gone through these files and marked the ones that are bad. I'm just going to, for the sake of time, I'm going to show you what turned out to be fairly decent and let you see just what the pictures look like when you're actually catching them. These now are raw, straight from the telescope as they were captured. Let me get the last one here. Okay, so what I've done is I've loaded them all in except for the ones that I marked bad. Now that don't mean that they're bad, that just means that they didn't meet a criteria that I wanted for butter images, let's put it that way. Okay, I'm going to next through these. If you'll look at this right here, you'll see the difference in some of it. Now these are going to be the good ones. If you look at them, see, now that one changed. Now I'm going to just show you a few of them. If you'll watch them, I did go ahead and let some go through there. That's not all that great. Well, in this case here, I captured 200, but I only using on Jupiter 1, I believe it's 106. See this, I'm not even going to go on up. Well, I might do a couple more, let's just see. That way you can tell. You see they're moving around? That's exactly what it does in the atmosphere. That's why it's so hard to do planets sometime. Is because, and look at that one, that's good. It's hard to get the images. You have to catch a bunch of them in order to be able to do anything. I'm going to let that go for now. So what you see, these are the raw images that were captured. Now I'm going to switch gears here. Hang loose just a minute. Okay, now I want you to see. Now remember, this was the raw image. All of them look pretty much like that. I'm going to show you now when we do all the processing, the alignment in this program. Now we're using Nebulosity 4. We'll do everything as far as the alignment and all that concerns. Now here is the output. Now I'm not going to do anything to this particular picture except the alignment and all that, and then I do a color mosaic debayer, and that's it. This is what the final picture looks like. This is the final picture that we have captured, and we have stacked them all up. This is what the picture looks like, and the only thing we did to it was to do a debayer on it so that we bring the color back to it. Now, what we need to do is more processing. Now, Nebulosity 4 does have some things in it to do processing. But I'm so used to doing stuff with, as far as planet goes, with another program, I'm going to show you that one. Okay, like I said, I'm going to use this in another program. I'm going to take the output from Nebulosity and I'm going to put it into a file called Registax. Now, Registax is free, and it's very popular for people who like to do processing, post-processing on their planetary pictures. So I'm going to show you now, instead of firing up the program and going through all of it, I'll just show you the output because this is not about how to use the program. So I'm going to grab the file of after it has been through Registats. All right, you look right there, that's the file from Registats. Now, if you look in here, you'll begin to see real good color, and you'll also see some more color under this equatorial band. I don't really see the red spot, but I am beginning to see, if you look right in there, there are some turbulences in the clouds, and some in this one here. Now, I use, the camera I use is a real low resolution camera, so I can't really blow this up too big. I will show you, no, I can't blow it up on this particular picture, but it gets too grainy when I blow it up real big. So, but they do look pretty good here. There are some indications of some of the moons right here. If you'll see right in there, there are some good indications. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to not take this picture, but I'm going to take the other picture from nebulosity output, and I'm going to put it in Photoshop, and I'm only going to do two things to it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the picture from Photoshop. I decided to do the same thing. There's no reason to actually load the program. Bam! There it is right there. Now if you look at this picture, there are quite a bit of difference. There's a lot of color and definitely some cloud turbulence in you see them. And if you look at the moons, I'll bring it up a little bit where you can see them. The moons are showing up. I think there's one way out there towards the end somewhere, but I see three right in here. There's probably one right up in here. So right there, the only thing I did in Photoshop was a little bit of saturation and some Gaussian blur and maybe a little sharpening. And that's it. I didn't do anything else to it. And so you can see from this that you can go all the way from nebulosity, process your pictures, and you can actually tweak them in Registats or go over to Photoshop and do what you want. Now I didn't go 1, 2, 3. I did number 1 and I did number 2 or 3. So what you're seeing is different. They're not a combination of the 3 programs. So now what I want to do is to show you all 3 of them kind of quickly so you can see what they do look like. Now if you'll watch this, I will load in all 3 of them at one time, and we'll kind of see, and I can actually back up on them too. I'm going to show you all 3 of them. Alright, if you look here, this is the one that has actually been run through nebulosity. Haven't done anything to it except do all the alignments and the stacking and things like that, and I did do a color correction. Now if you notice, I didn't do anything as far as contrast or anything like that. I wanted the other 2 programs to be a value here. When I do separation of the 3 programs, we will try to do something a little different. Okay, now watch that image right there. I will show you all 3 of them at one time, how they bounce in and out as far as quality goes. Okay, here goes. That's second one and the third one. You see that? Let's back up. All right, this is the output from all the work, the stacking and everything. That's from the actual capture to alignment and stacking and debayering. In other words, we turned it into color. And we took this raw image right here and we put it into Registats. That's Registats output. Now you can actually do better than you can play with. I only moved 2 things in Registats. I did on wavelets, I did number 1 and I did number 2, and that's all I did. Then I took that previous one, this one here, and I put it into Photoshop. And on Photoshop, all I did was contrast, sharpness, and Gaussian blur. And oh yeah, and I did saturation so I can see this right here. If you look real close, you'll see there's different colors in it. These are swirls in the clouds is what this is. Now, relax a minute, think about that. I'm going to try to blow this up for you. I'll have to take them out of here. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do that with this capture program. Uh, I will see. Okay, hang loose. Okay, I've got them into another program so we can actually look at them. What I want you to look at here, this is the one that was actually processed in Registats. Now I saved it as a bitmap file so we can use it anywhere we want to. Now watch this. Now you see the bands. Now watch. I'm going to increase this. It gets real grainy, but you can actually see some of the clouds in those bands. Now I'm going to reduce that back. Now let's look at the other one. Now this is the one from Photoshop. Now you see what's going on there? Now you see the moon showing up? Now watch this. Look at that. You can actually see the different colors and you see the cloud swirls and all. That's awesome. To me, that is awesome. For a low resolution camera, that really does a good job. So if you want to get into beginning for astrophotography and you've never done any before, think about planetary photography to get started and get your wings, and you can see what you can go with from there. Okay, we're going to call that quits for this time. If you like what you saw, click like below. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Don't subscribe again if you already have. Just let it go. And ring that bell if you've never rung it before, because then you'll get a notification that I've posted something. Well, I'm going to wrap that up, and we're going to say glad you could be with us, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you get something out of it. Until next time, clear skies and keep looking up.